Okay, good evening, Rabbi. Tonight, Zera Shimshon Shiur is sponsored by Chaim Hillel Weitzner. Le'ilui Nishmas, Imam Arasi Keren Sivya Bas Asher Leib. Le'ilui Nishmas Yisraela Bas Yosef Hillel. Le'ilui Nishmas Asher Leib Ben Ruben Alevi. Le'refuah Shalema for Chanalea Bas Keren Sivya. L'refuah Shem Chai Bracha Bas Devorah Rachel, L'refuah Shem Yehudas Bas Nechama Liba, L'refuah Shlema for Yisrael Michal Ben Chana Bela, Le'ila Nishmas Chaim Pesach Ben Daniel Doiv. The schus of the Zera Shimshon, Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Ben Menachem Michal, should be invoked for them and for all the people on the list and for Gans Klal Yisrael. Rabbi, Parshas Shelach, letter Hey. This week we'll do letter Hey, Bezos Hashem. Kuf Pei Hey. And fasten your seatbelts. Kuf Pei Hey. Shabbos Perek Tes. Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. The subject of today's Zera Shimshon is the koyach that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given Klal Yisrael, the Tzuras HaAdam, the koyach that Klal Yisrael has to make a difference in the world. The koyach of saying Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah, where the Gemara says about Yehei Shmei Rabbi, even 70 years of negativity could be erased. Even a Gzar Din of Shivim Shana, all is good with an Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbi. As long as he says it, Bechol Koichai. That's the sugya we're going to learn about tonight. Let's see. Zug the Heilige Zera Shimshon, B'Shabbos Perek Tes. I'm Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Kisha Allah Moshe Lamorim. When Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shemayim to get the Sefer Torah, to get the Torah Kedosha, to get what was first Kabbalah HaTorah, Aseres HaDibros. Matzu LaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehoya Koisher Ksarim LaOsius. Found Rabbeinu Shalom putting crowns on the letters. Amalai. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe, Ein shalom bi'irecha. You don't say shalom. Atalo omer shalom. You don't come, you come upstairs, zug shulam, say shalom, greet me. Amar lefan of Rabbeinu Shalom, I should greet you. I should greet you. Klum yesh evet shenoisen shalom l'rabbi. An Eved, I'm your servant. You're the master. I should say shalom to you. Kum yesh Eved shenoisen shalom l'Rabbi. Amar lei, so the Berger Shalom teaches him, and he says, Hoya lecha la'azroni. You should have assisted me. Hoya lecha la'azroni. You should have helped me. La'azor. Miyad. And here Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't ask, I should help you? Rabbeinu Shalom, you need my help? Mazeh, what's going on? Oma miyad omerlei va'ato yigdal no koyach Hashem kasher dibarta. May yigdal no koyach, may your koyach become great. Where is this pasuk? What does this have to do with Parshas Shelach? If you open up the Chumash, and you look in this week's Parsha, after Klal Yisrael came back, the Meraglim came back from spying in Eretz Yisrael, they brought back a negative report. The Rabbeinu Shalom was so upset. Vayomer Hashem HaMoshe ad ona yenatzuni amazeh ad ona leyaminu bi b'chol oises asher asisi b'kirba. How long are they going to test me? I'm going to wipe them out. Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm ready to start again. Start with you. But what about the Chilul Hashem that's going to come out? I understand that Klal Yisrael is at fault. They're wrong. But Rabbeinu Shalom, you've invested in Klal Yisrael so much. The Amru HaYoshvei HaAretz, they're going to say, Shamu, Aki'ato Hashem B'kerev Ha'am Hazer She'ayin B'ayin Nira Ato Hashem. You are with them daily. V'anon choymed aleihem v'amud onon ato hilech lifneim yoimam v'amudei shalaylo. Ha'matas kol ha'mazeh k'ish echad amru ha'goyim asher sham shemachim mebilti achoyles Hashem lehevius ha'mazeh. They're going to say, you know why you did this? Because it was that the Meraglim were right. It's too hard to bring Cholila, too hard to bring Bnei Yisrael into Canaan. They're not going to take it because Klal Yisrael were chutzpin yaks. They're going to take it because you're not capable of doing it. And therefore the Kiddush, the Chilul Hashem that's going to come out, and it's more than that, Rabbi say. When Moshe Rabbeinu approached Paroi said, you don't want to take them. Ru'u ki ro'o neged penechem. You don't want to take them. You know that there's a star that shows me that their blood will be spilled in the desert. So Paroi said to Moshe Rabbeinu, if you ask me, I would stay right here. You're better off. Now, says Moshe Rabbeinu, you know what Mitzrayim is going to say? Pen yomu Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is going to say that's a lashon of bero hoitziam. That's what he said over there by the Egel. Same thing. V'shama Mitzrayim. They're going to say what you did, and you shechted us out. Weiter. So here we are. We're right, and you're wrong. V'ato yigdal no koyach Hashem kasher dibarta leimar. May your yigdal no, please, may your koyach become great and forgive them. Hashem erech apayim v'av chesed v'emes slach no lo'om hazeh kegoydel chazecha. Forgive them. Kasher nasosa so'om hazeh mitzrayim adheina v'yomer Hashem solachti kidvarecha. When we say in our slichos, Vayomer Hashem solachti kidvarecha, we're asking, we're invoking the words of Moshe Rabbeinu in this week's Parsha. We're hopefully not as bad off as Klal Yisrael was in the desert by the Chet HaMeraglim. Over there, the Rabbi Shalom was ready to shecht us, and the Rabbi Shalom was masking to Moshe Rabbeinu solachti kidvarecha. So that's where this bakosha comes from, and it's tied into these words, Yigdal va'ato yigdal no koyach Hashem kasher dibarto. So what is the Gemara in Shabbos teaching us? What's the context of the Gemara there? Moshe Rabbeinu comes up to Shamayim. Moshe Rabbeinu is coming to get the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu sees the ksarim that Hashem is making. We talked about this once a few weeks ago. That was Rabbi Akiva. Exactly. Moshe Rabbeinu says, why don't you give the Torah to Rabbi Akiva? The Rabbi Shalom has, that's a whole different conversation. But this part of the Gemara, Shabbos Peites, Rabbi Shalom says to Moshe, where is your shalom? Where is your shalom? And Moshe Rabbeinu says, I should give you shalom? Yes, you should. To which Moshe Rabbeinu says, Yigdal no koyach Hashem. That's the end of the Gemara. Vehu tamua. All the Zera Shimshon says, this is so strange. What does the Rabbi Shalom really want from Moshe Rabbeinu? What does that mean? What does he mean? You should be ozreini to say Shalom. Bemet, efshar la'azor la'kodesh baruch hu tzarich et ezra shalanu. He needs our help. He needs our help, really? He's tining on Moshe Rabbeinu. Ma efshar la'asot. What can we do? Who, us, Busser V'dam? What are we doing for the Rabbi Shalom that we have to go and we should give Shalom? This is the secret of Amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah. Let's see how the Zera Shimshon is going to explain it. V'isa, first let's go through point by point. What was Moshe Rabbeinu's taina that I can't answer you? Says V'isa beperek Bais Yerushalmi de brachas. Train milin hadon bavloi ovar li. Two things this Babylonian does to me. The reka, the background is Reb Yochanan was walking, and I think it was Rev Adar Ba'ava was helping. Reb Yochanan was a very, very, very heavy fellow. He couldn't walk by himself. He needed somebody else to assist him in his walking. So he had a Talmud. Reb Eliezer, one of his Talmidim, who was originally from Bavel, saw Reb Yochanan coming, and he ran away. And Reb Yochanan caught it in the corner of his eyes. He saw his Talmud run away. So he commented, two shlechte things he does to me. Shnei dvarim he's doing to me. One of them is, he doesn't come and say shalom to me. He doesn't come and say shalom. The other one is when he says over divrei Torah, he doesn't say it over in my name. The Gemara in Bavli also has this conversation. The Gemara it's in Ksubas and the Gemara in Yevamis.
What's to do with him running away?
Two things. Kodim kol, he runs away, like he just did right now. And in addition, when he says over my divrei Torah, he doesn't say it in my name. To which the Bavli says, and the Yerushalmi says, he doesn't say your name because who else did he, when he quotes anybody, he's always quoting you. That's right. He gave him an example. A mayor, when he said something over B'Shem Rabbi Yishmael, would say Rabbi Yishmael says. But then he would talk and he wouldn't say who it was. So he asked Rabbi Yechon, who's he saying? Because it's Rabbi Kiva, because everything Rabbi Meir comes from Rabbi Kiva. So he says, Rabbi, everything Rabbi Eliezer knows, he knows from you. When he says over, Zuktan Dan Numan. That why did he run away? And what's with the running away? He's also not asking, kommt nicht und sucht nicht shalom. He's not coming to his Rebbe and saying shalom. This is the minig in Bavel, that what? The klenera, the small one, doesn't even have the chutzpah to speak in front of the adult. So you know why he doesn't ask shulam? Because he doesn't even want to say anything in front of you. The inon mekaim reuni na'arm v'nechbu. What it says by Eov says, I remember my good old days. The younger people would see me and they would run away. They would be so intimidated because they gave kuvod, they gave me respect. So Rebbe, he's not saying hello to you not because he doesn't machshav you. He's not saying hello to you because he's giving you derech eretz, because that's what they're doing in Bavel. The Bavel, the Yingere, it's like for all of you Haimisha people, when you all know that the younger ones have to give respect to the older ones. If it's about calling your siblings on Erev Shabbos, the younger one always has to call my older sister always says, you're the younger one, you have to call me. She's right. Or when you give out the besumim on Motzei Shabbos, right? Everybody, right? When you go, who gets the besumim first? The older one. Chulila that a younger kid should take the besumim before the older. What is this? Amerikaner. Right, right, that's what you do. Right? You give respect. This little things, right? The little things, or drinking the kiddush, right? The older one gets first, and then you go in order, taking a mitzi. And taking the mitzi, Alice, the older one before the younger one. So the younger one doesn't have the chutzpah to go before the older one. So Rabbi Yochanan, that says the Zera Shimshon, what Moshe Rabbeinu says to Rabbi Shem, I should say shalom to you. And Rabbi Shem, I should say shalom to you. You're the Rabbi Shalom. Was benich. V'lechen k'shirah kadosh baruch hu shemoshe loy nitan loy shalom amar loy ein shalom be'arecha. You mean to tell me you're like the Bavloim? Says the Rebbeinu Shem to Moshe Rabbeinu. You're not saying shalom to him. You see, Rabbi Yochanan expected you should say shalom. To say shalom is okay. You're saying you shouldn't. To say shalom, you're allowed to.
Maybe he wants to Moshe Rabbeinu that he
Oh, Umaisha b'diuk heishev shukemo eved etzel rabbi. He's pochos madrega yoser pechusa mitalmid etzel rab. Even such a madrega, even if you're right, let's say Rabbi Yochanan was right, that the Talmud shouldn't act with such humility, the Talmud should say Shalom. Let's say he's right. But that's a Talmud. You're the master and I'm the Eved. I'm not even on the madrega of a Talmud to the Rab. I can't say Shalom to you.
It's more, don't speak till you're spoken to.
And more like that, yeah, that's right. Says the Rabbi Nisham Moshe Ben, you're making a big mistake. You're making a big toast. That Kadosh Baruch Hu heishiv lo hoyelecha la'azreini. What is the Rabbi Nisham saying? Kiloymar. Ha'eved nikra eved. Why is an eved called an eved? She'oisa hamalochos hatzrichos bebais rabbi. His job is to do the work that is near. Why are you an eved? Why do you have a cleaning person come to your house? Because it needs to be cleaned. Why does a person have a nanny to take care of the kinderlach or a babysitter? Because it needs to be done. If I didn't need you to do your arbit, to do your work, I wouldn't call you an eved. So if you're known as an eved, afisha oisa malacha tzrichas beis rabbi, ve'ema emeshat eved gamalecha hoya mutul azreini lasles malacha sheyesh. You're supposed to be a partner with me in the malacha. Interesting. Sheyesh li lasos. V'heishav loy Moshe v'ata yigdano koyach Hashem. Shat tzadikim. And here is point number one. Point number one, big point number one. Shat tzadikim moisifim koyach bigvura shel malo. That tzadikim, actually, the Rabbeinu Shalom set up the world in a way that when we, Klal Yisrael, do the right thing, there's more Kedusha in the world, and the Rabbeinu Shalom gets more involved. Does the Rabbeinu Shalom have the capacity to get involved? Of course he does. But the Rabbeinu Shalom is going to get as involved as our bakasha, as much as we ask him to get involved. He set up the world, Hashemayim, Shemayim LaHashem, V'oretz Nosan L'Bnei Adam. You want me to come down over here? You want me in your life? I'm ready. B'vakasha, I'm ready. I'm capable. But I'm only going to get as involved as you involve me. So the Rabbeinu Shalom says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Hoya l'cha la'azreini. You should be ma'oirer the rotzon that I have, and then I'm going to do it. My Rebbe Zechroina Levracha said, so often we say, Rebbe Moshe Shapiro, yeah, everybody knows.
No, so you have it right.
Yeah, the Rebbe Zogt, the Rebbe Zogt, the Rebbe, I'm not saying it like myself, Rabbi Yochanan had a problem, he said it himself, he didn't say the Rebbe, you were just saying the word. The Rebbe Flag Zogt, what does it mean, oile berotzen? What does it mean that the Rebbe Shalom is oile lerotzen? Oile lerotzen, what does that mean? Oile, it means it should go up your rotzen. Your Rebbe Shalom you should want. So listen to this, Rabbi Sai, but you have to listen very carefully. You have to listen very carefully. The kesher between the Rabbeinu Shalom and Klal Yisrael is like a kesher of a chassan and a kala. When Klal Yisrael was at Har Sinai, the Gemara begins with Har Sinai. What is the capacity of Klal Yisrael and the Rabbeinu Shalom at Har Sinai? V'hu kechasan yoytze mechupasai. Right? Biyom simchas liboy zumatan Torah. When the Rabbeinu Shalom gave the Torah to Klal Yisrael, kechasan, he was like the chasan who was leaving his chuppah. That's the Rabbeinu Shalom's status. The Klal Yisrael is kala kruya, kala ne'ima. We're considered like a kala. The chusan loves the kala. The chusan desires the kala. The chusan, the kala, is ma'oirer the chusan. Right? He's ma'oirer the chusan. As the mechayitzin should have a ratzin. If the kala is known as ateres tiferes. Kala is known, we say in Eishes Chayil, that she is Ateres Ba'ala, right? She is the what? The crown. The crown. She's the Ateres Ba'ala. Says the Zera Shimshon, the Gemara is teaching us that if you want the Rabbeinu Shalom to get involved in this world, the way a husband gets involved with his wife, you have to make yourself desirable to the chassan. Hoya lecha la'azreini. You have a koyach. I'm going to be involved. I want to be involved. But I want you to la'azreini, to get me involved. I want you to get me involved. The way a chassan and a kala, the way a husband and a wife. What does it mean, my Rebbe, Zechron Levacha, said, oile berutzen. Was it the oile? Was geit man arof? What are you bowing up? That means, say, siznis gaber. Yigdal no koyach. Yigdal means that the Berger, you keilu get more involved, you grow when you come have a shaykhis to us, like a zochar that is interested in his kala. Azoi, the Berger, you'll be mashpia on us, b'tnai echad. We have to do our part to bring you the his iris. So there should be a rotzain from you to us. V'amevin yavin, exactly like it is by a husband and a wife, by a chusin and a kala, azoi is the relationship between us and the Rabbi Shalom. It's exactly the same way. That's yigdal no kayach. Moshe Rabbeinu told Rabbi Shalom, now that you taught me that it's our job, la'azreini. What does that mean, la'azreini? That I have to be ma'ayir your ratzon, at kama that a person does that, he gets the Rabbi Shalom to be mashpi in his life. If you tell the Rabbi Shalom, I really need you. Ich darf dich haben. I really need you, then he wants to be with you. But if you go about your life and we say to ourselves, how about you don't bother me, I don't bother you. Okay, you stay, okay, figure it out yourself. Figure it out yourself, no problem. I'm as involved as you want me to be involved. Says the Zera Shimshon, V'al derech Yishmol b'ni barcheni. Everybody knows the song, maybe, right? Yishmol b'ni. He said, Yirotzoin, your rachamim should be kovish over your kas. Exactly. What are you asking the Rabbi Shalom? Rabbi Shalom saying to him, give me a bracha. What do you mean, give me a bracha? See, he's telling him, be ma'oirer my rotzoin for you. It's in your hands, for heaven's sakes. It's up to you. You want me to be in life? I'll run. A chusin runs after the kala. A husband runs after his wife, right? Yeah. Okay, so no, b'vakasha. The Berger Sham's ready. B'vakasha, be ma'ir the rotzen.
What's the direct translation of Moshe's response? Direct?
What do you mean? What's the question?
The words that he responded to Hashem. What's the direct? He said, Yigdal. What's the?
Va'ato, and now Yigdal no koyach Hashem. Let your koyach, Rabbi Shalom, get bigger. Your koyach means your involvement. Balt vet men zayn. These are these ksarim were exactly the crowns. They're like he's referring to some Kabbalistic concept, but what that means practically is as azoy. Listen to this. She'av beguf ha'adam, in the body of a man, la'achar shen, man and a woman, both as long as they're Jewish, la'achar shenikbar nisher sham la'olam ktsas ruchniyut. Even in a dead man, there's still some ruchnius which is left over. Hanikra havle degarmi. In a toite mensch, nicht du kamaral hampanach, so darfst bald her in der Stickel maral. In a toite mensch, okay, where he's in the ground, there's some residue of life left. Shehu hatchalas, that's the beginning of tchias hamesim. The Gemara says, the story in Brachas where a chassid went to stay in a Beis HaKvaros, v'shama shnei ruchos, and heard the two spirits speaking to each other. They're dead. They're dead. Yes, they're dead, but the spirit of a neshama that's attached to a body never leaves it completely. For those who will have tchias hamesim. Sh'la'achar shenikbar haguf hoya sham k'tzas ruach v'tchias hamesim tolui b'geula. When the geula happens, there'll be tchias hamesim. V'agula yesh lo zman kotzev sharei kate sosum v'chosim kenoidu. We don't know when it is. V'zeh kesher sharoisa kadosh baruch hu be'elu atagin kaloimer. Shetchias hamesim tovo lo isa zman hayadua dilalibi galisi levar lo galisi. The Rabbi Shalom says, I'm going to attach those crowns to the letters, which means to say there's a higher kesher that these letters have that go above and beyond the physical. So too, it's a dugma to your neshama and your guf, that your neshama, let's face it, Adam Rishon was created, he was created to live forever. And even though he sinned, and he brought Misa to the world, had he done tshuva the way it's supposed to, then he could have been able to get it back. Lamaisa, the world destroyed itself. 10 generations later, there was a Mabul, finished. As we've mentioned many times, Adam was off the world. The new chiyus of the world was who? Noach. All the goyim are called B'nai Noach, not B'nai Adam. They lost it. Avram Avinu comes back, and Avram is considered Adam Agodol Ba'anokim. He gets the letter Hey, Ramach 248, Kiyadua. He gets back all of the Tzura So Adam the way he was supposed to be. He gets a bris milah, which is a Tzelem Elokim, and he Sarah bring down Yitzchak, and eventually Adam or Rishon comes back to the world. Who is he? Yaakov Avinu, who is Shufra, the Yaakov, the Gemara Bab Metzia, and Adam is back. That Yaakov is Eloi Meis. That Yaakov is Eloi Meis. Adam Rishon, the Tzura of Adam Rishon's back. The Kesher is going to stay forever. And even when they die, they'll be Tchias HaMeisim. Chantu Chantaya, Softu Softai, they put him into the ground. I know exactly where he is. Yes, you do. But the Kesher of Adam, Koidem Achet, that the Guf and the Neshama, the way Adam separated and never gets back. If you're Jewish, you're Tchias HaMeisim. There's Tchias HaMeisim. If you're Jewish, that's why you're not allowed to cremate. Cholila. What do you mean? You're taking the body? You're taking the body. You think we don't need it anymore? You're burning it? Chas v'shalom. You're not allowed to. There's still a shtickle ruchnius left. You eat matzah Shabbos, it goes to the luz. That's where the food, that's you nourish the chelik of the person that's going to come back after the zman. It's going to come back for Tchias HaMeisim.
So what happens though that the kid is burnt in Auschwitz?
That Rabbi Shem has a cheshbon.
The luz didn't burn.
That's what they say, the luz didn't burn. That's not burnable. The Rabbi Shem, leave it to him. Leave it to him. The Berger knows how to bring it back. That's right. But that's the second vision that he showed him. Let's go on. V'oid yirmaz sha'ad shelo yehei kesher ha'elyon shalem u'metukan. Until the kesher is not complete, dahainu yichud shemes hakadoshim hainu odim, that the name of Hashem will become the way it's supposed to. Lo tavia geula v'zeh soid bayoim hahu yeyeh Hashem echad u'shmo echad. When the Shem is one, then Shem echad u'shmo echad, then the world will become one. B'tzaluz say right ve'ikra gula toli b'sholem. Now I want to tell you a new knech, says the Zera Shimshon. Let's talk about the word shalom for a minute. We talked about the idea that he was megala to him, the kesher that he has to the world. how much I need you to daven. That was one aspect. I'm talking about how much your involvement is chashuv. That's one. I'm talking about the fact that you have a kesher between guf and neshama, that's not going away. And now I want to talk about what you're going to do and how you make a difference. This is the third and final point. Zokter ve'ikar gulatola b'shalom. Tzelusa Rav Safa Perek Bais de Brachas Yirotzen shetosim shalom b'pamalya shalmala b'pamalya shamat. You should place peace above and peace below. V'chein b'brachas hamevareches ama Yisrael b'shalom anu mechavnim b'nekudas shuruk. You know which one the shuruk is? Which is the shuruk? The 3 dots. You know what they represent? The word shuruk is the word kesher. It's the letters kesher. Ki shuruk em oisies kesher shu kesher v'chibur bebechinas v'zeh soid shalom. When you have shalom, you have peace, and you have a bond that's unbreakable. She'esh umayim ma'arvim v'oisim shalom beinehem. Shamayim. Why is it called Shamayim, says the Gemara? Eish umayim. Oise shalom bimroimov. In Shamayim, ein shum hafrada. There's no separation. Eish umayim. V'chein yelo osed lovin kazim asati shalom ba'aretz ze'ev imakeves. Even the wolf with the lamb, there'll be complete peace in this world, like hu yasa shalom aleinu. Metagaminim b'yoyme de Mashiach, when Mashiach comes, Yisrael yiskish b'sholma ba'ara. They will have peace. V'lechein amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So now let's go back and tie the knots. V'lechein amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ein shalom b'irecha. Moshe Rabbeinu, if you're here to accept the Torah, what are you doing here? Matao Sepo, what are you doing here? You're here to bring the world to its fruition. You're here to bring a tikkun to the world. You're going to bring down the Torah. That's the tachlis of the world. That means that if you're going to bring the Torah to the world's going to have shleimus. The world's going to have its completion. Where's your shalom? Don't you realize that you are a shutif in this shalom? Loma ein ata mishtadel lases yichud hashalom kedei lemaher tikun ha'olam v'tikun hakesher hanechmad. Why are you not involved? You should be saying shalom to me, which means you should be doing your job below. Everybody needs it, but the pshat is you're the Rebbe. You're the one who's in charge, so you should be the one making the shalom. Says the Rabbi Nisham, yes, but the Iseirusa de la Eila comes with Iseirusa de la Sato. You have to ask for it, and then I'm going to bring it. That's his words. Umiyad Omar va'ato yigdol koyach Hashem. Now, says the Zera Shimshon, ubezoyer Parshas Pinchas. Kama yafuhu la'odam. How appropriate it is for a person. Ba'oid shahaner doiluk v'shayra al roishay. As long as a person is still alive and there's a candle that glows above him, lihishtada lases ritzayin adonai, do the ratzon of Hashem. Mishum she'oid sha'ner hu koyach hashayra olav. That ner, ki ner elikim nishmas adam, ner Hashem nishmas adam. That's the koyach. Va'al zeh ksiv yigdal no koyach. Koyach, which is shayra on the roish of every tzaddik. You, Klal Yisrael, are empowered with a special koyach. Elokai neshama shenasata bi tahirahi. You gave me that koyach of a neshama. You know what you should do with it? Yigdal no koyach. Bring the Rabbeinu Shalom's koyach through your koyach. How? Watch what the Zera Shimshon says. Bereish brachas amrinan, kol zman she Yisrael nichnasim lebate kinesiyos ubate medrashos. Every time a yid goes into a shul, soon we're going to daven Ma'ariv over here, you're going to daven Shachris, you're going to say Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba. Your name, Shmei Rabba, your name should be Yehei Shmei Rabba Mivarach, should be blessed. Taisus brings down two pshatim. Either it's Yehei Shmei should become a Rabba, become greater. Your name should become greater. Says the Ari HaKadosh, there are 28 letters in Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba, Gematria Koyach. You're giving Koyach to Hashem's name. Says the Zera Shimshon, when a person does that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu listens, U'menaneya roishay v'oimer ashrei hamelech, lucky, fortunate as a king, shemekalson oisei bebeisoi, umala of shehigla, there's a rotzain from Hashem, you're ma'orer a rotzain, let me bring the kids back home, let me bring my children back. The hai damrinam bekol koichai, and it says if a person says Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba bekol koichai, then he is koirin like zardinim shel shivim shana. He can erase 70 years of negativity. How? V'noida. Ki b'soid kadosh yesh kavana achas shel chov ches tevas. From Kaddish, from Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba, there is until Ba'oma is 28 letters. And then from the beginning till Yehei Shmei Rabba through till there is 42 letters. Kavana achas shel mem beis tevos, va'kavana shel chav ches hu min Yehei Shmei Rabba ad be'olma, v'kavanas mem beis mitchilas hakadosh ad Shem, v'im ken kol ha'oina amen Yehei Shmei Rabba bekol koichoi bekol koyach ha'oisyos shaloi koloimer ad da'amiran be'olma korin gezardin shel shivim shana. Why? Shechav ches umem beis is ayin. That is the gematria of 70. Va'afkan ramaz Moshe Kadosh Baruch Hu sha'ois oirivis atachton yesh tamed b'chol yoim v'yoim. Ve'im HaKadosh Baruch Hu rotza lahachish geula ein mi sheyakev v'yodoi. If the Rebbeinu Shalom decides he wants to bring the geula, he can do it and no one will stop him. Va'ato yigdal no koyach Hashem. Your koyach should become great. U'beprat ba'nias amen Yehei Shmei Rabba b'chol koychai. What does it mean koychai? Now listen, Shaul, this is for you. Rabbi Sai, how do you understand? You should say Yehei Shmei Rabba b'chol koichai. That means you should scream it. Is that called koichai? Listen to the words of the Maharal. Maharal is in Nesiv Avoda Perek Yud Aleph. Umasha Omar b'chol koichai kvar pirashnu. Shetzorach laharis koyach of the neshama. Like the Zohar HaKadosh writes, your neshama is your koyach. She is gaber haneshama be'odam. The neshama becomes strong. Ve'ein sorach koil ram. You don't have to scream. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to raise your voice. Kol koichai means you say it with all your soul. Kol koichai means you put everything that you have into Yehei Shmei Rabba. Listen to the words. When a person says Yehei Shmei Rabba with his heart and soul, im kol halev v'kol haneshama lo tzarich lagid bekol. He doesn't have to say it out loud. Maybe he can't control himself because he's saying it with such emphasis. Says the Maral, she is Gaber Haneshama Sheba Odom. Sheboy Mishabech LaKadosh Baruch Hu Al Gufo HaChomri. Your body becomes overtaken by your own neshama. You at that moment become such a ruchniistic person when you say Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbi with all your neshama. And you know what happens? Ubezeh efsher sheyidabek b'madrege elyoina nivdeles umevatel kol hagzeres. The gezeres are down in this world. When in Himmel, when you connect yourself in Himmel, alle the gezeres gain avek, because the b'shonish du. You're not down in this world anymore. When a person says Yehei Shmei Rabba, Yigdal Koyach Hashem. Your Koyach means the Koyach of the 28 letters, says the Zera Shimshon, which Yehei Shmei Rabba has 28 letters, which has 28 words from Yehei Shmei Rabba until Ba'olma. Minik Visions is to say all of them together because they say all 28 letters. That's why they do it. They don't know sometimes, but they say all 28 letters because they want to invoke that Koyach. Umizuktes bechol koichai. Bechol koichai means mit the neshuma. Right? Ad sheyoyse bechitu chapel legamri lafuke sofarav. You don't whisper it without your lips, but you say it like your life depends on it. That koyach, mit the ganze koyach, yeno umayne Shmei Rabba, that takes your body, it fuses, you get overpowered by your neshama, you can wipe away anything terrible. You can bring Mashiach mit Azam and Yehei Shmei Rabba. You could say, Gesundheit.
You said before that Moshe said that the Gula is in Hashem's hands. So when he put his hands up, fighting a Amalek, yad yad, 28 letters.
28 letters, right. Yigdal no koyach. You know how come there's 28? You know how come Yad, you're good. Yad is Gematria, 14. There are 14 bones in your hand. Why is there 14? 3, 3, 3, and 3 is 12. And the thumb has 2. That's 14. 14 and 14 is 28. That's your koach. Koach b'shnei hayadayim. This is Yadayim Yadei Esav. HaKoil Koil Yaakov. The koyach of Yaakov is in sein koil, nicht in sein Yadayim. When it's Koil Yaakov, that's Inzer koyach. Dazoi darf man sagen Kaddish. That's how a person says Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba. Chananya ben Akasha, and we all get to practice. Chananya ben Akasha Omer. Ratzah Kadosh Baruch Hu lezakoi says Yisrael. Lefichach herba lehem Torah mitzvah shenemar Adonai chafetz laman tzedkoi yagdil Torah v'yadir. Amen. Amen.